In this video, we want to look at how to look up the ages of students based on the student IDs and then picking the ages from the age table, which has the unique identifiers of the students and their ages. Let us see how we can look for this student and then reproduce their age. In this second edition of our lookup lesson series, we shall use a combination of two functions, index and match. And this is how it works. We shall basically go to this age table and identify which row is student 210MA. So for example, if I pick that number and I come and search in this column, Control F, and then I paste it and I said find. I find that this is in row 126, and probably from the top that will be row 126 or 125, depending on whether we are counting from the first row or from the second row. So let us see how this match function works. So we shall come and put equal signs and we insert MA, and match comes and says returns the relative position of an item in an array that makes a specified value in a specified order. So when I click on match, it asks me what is the lookup value, and the lookup value is this unique identifier. And where do you want to look it up? We want to look it up in the age table, and certainly the age table, it is in this column 1, starting from row 2, and we go down to the last row. Now we press F4 on our keyboard to make sure that when we paste the formula downwards, we do not have our array changing. So we put a comma, and then Excel is asking us to name the type of match we want to use. Because we are looking for the exact unique identifier, we shall use an exact match, which is a 0, and we close bracket. So it is telling us that this is row 125. So how do we then use the index function? Now the index function works like this. If we say index, then the array, where do we want to look for this item from? We want to get the age from this column that has age. So it is B2 to B1001. We press F4 to log, and then it is asking us which row number. Let's first type the row manually, 125, and then we put a comma. And because we have only highlighted one column, we do not need to put a column index, so we can actually close and enter. So it's telling us it is age 16. So now if we come and put the index, this index function that we have used, we have input this row index 125 as hard coded. But remember, as we paste our formula down, then we shall have our row indexes changing as we move to different students. So let's undo and then see how we shall use our index function. So come and input the index function. Our index function asks us for the array. The array is where we want to get the age from, and the age we want to get it from this column. So we highlight up to the bottom, we press F4. It is asking us for the row index. This is where we use our match function. Lookup value, we want to match based on the ID of the student. The match should be in the table in which we want to reproduce the age. We put a comma, and then the lookup array is in the table where we want to pick the age from. So the lookup array is where we want to pick our student ID from. Highlight up to the bottom, we press F4, and then we put a comma, and we put a 0, and we close. So we have closed the match function. We put another bracket to approach the index function, and we press enter. If we come and copy and then come to the bottom of our table and highlight everything, and then we paste, right click, paste special, then click on formulas and press OK. So you find that our age now has been delivered courtesy of our two powerful functions. The index function that identifies what you want to pick, which is age, you highlight the age column, and then the match function, which identifies the row index where we want to pick, and that row index is identified based on the matching of the student ID with the student ID column in the lookup table. I hope this is interesting and is understood and useful for solving your spreadsheet challenges.